This cannot be real life. I cannot believe what's going on right now. If you are hoping for one of those typical recap videos where I'm hyped, excited, and find the smallest glimmer of positivity in what I'm talking about, you can go to the main channel. There's about 1,000 videos on the main channel that will give you that type of energy. But in today's video, I'm not going to say let's get started. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. In fact, today's video might be the most direct video I have ever dropped on this channel. That's because the topic we're talking about is completely different territory. Extremely serious, but different territory. The world of sports betting can be a beautiful place where you can thrive, earn additional money, and gain a new level of interest in the game that you wouldn't have had if sports betting didn't exist. But then there's the other side of it, the dark side of sports betting. The vile, disgusting, downright evil part of it. All athletes all over the world are affected by it at some level, no matter what sports you're in. But today, there's a level of hate. There's a level of threats that we're seeing that we've never seen before. This is not acceptable. One of the main reasons I'm doing this video is to highlight the problem and make sure it never happens again. There is not a planet that exists that a player or a human being deserves to be treated this way. And if you look at the thumbnail, you already know where I'm going with this. Our all-star, our superstar in Jalen Brunson is receiving death threats. Not only him, Josh Hart is also receiving a lot of hate and threats as well too. Many players all across the NBA in a number of different sports, a number of different athletes are dealing with this level of hate. But because this is a Knicks podcast, we're going to focus on Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart specifically. It's one thing to not hit on your bet, not hit on your parlay, and be upset about it. It's an entirely different thing altogether to go on social media, go to the player's page who you believe cost you your bet or your parlay, contact that player, regardless if you think they're going to read that message or see that message or not, and send them hate, send them threats, and think that you can get away with it because you're behind the keyboard, behind the profile with no avatar picture. So you think you can say whatever you want to say without any consequences. Well, you know what? A lot of people, including myself, are done with that. Sports betting is fine, but when you take it to the level of sending threats, you have pushed it to a new level that it should have never been taken to. Especially with the case of Jalen Brunson, not only is he receiving death threats, he's receiving threats against his family, including his young, not even 1-year-old daughter. I am not sure what's going on with society at this point in time, but this is not okay, and it should never be allowed. Shout out to James L. Edwards of The Athletic for helping to break down all of these issues and highlight the dark side of sports betting. Shout out to Knicks Muse on the app X for breaking down James L. Edwards' comments here regarding sports betting and what Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have to go through. According to Edwards, it doesn't matter if Jalen Brunson scores 40 points or 20 points. Mind you, Jalen Brunson scored 36 points last night against the Hawks and put up the game winner against Dyson Daniels to help seal the game. We don't win that game without Jalen Brunson. Something to keep in mind here. Once again, it doesn't matter if Jalen Brunson scores 40 points or 20 points. It doesn't matter if New York wins by 30 points, 2 points, or they lose. The bulk of the messages tend to be the same. They threaten him, his family, including his months-old daughter. They call him racial slurs. They demand money. Some people have absolutely lost their mind. Imagine being so confident in yourself that you're not going to be found out, that you're going to contact Jalen Brunson and send death threats to him, send death threats to his family, to his daughter. Have we lost our mind? Have we forgotten how to act as a society? This is ridiculous. And Jalen Brunson is not the only player on this Knicks team going through this. You know how I am, guys. Once I see something and I read one part, I have to look into it more and find out more information about it. And thanks to Bleacher Report for breaking down the following from Josh Hart about the type of threats that he gets. According to Hart, I get everything. People say, I hope you die. They wish injury, racial stuff. Bleacher Report continues here by stating, unfortunately, the growing sports book across the country, combined with the instant access of social media, created a new atmosphere in sports where fans are more concerned with their wagers than actual games. Sports betting isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so players have gotten used to the reactions they receive nowadays. According to Campaign, he states the following: it's funny that people are out there looking for that instead of just watching the game. It's just funny to me. We don't ask you to bet your money. I want to highlight that point one more time for anybody who didn't hear it. They don't require you to bet your money when you watch a Knicks game or any sports game or any NBA game for that matter. If you choose to do that, like anybody else who chooses to do it, good luck to you. I hope you hit. But if you don't, do not take it upon yourself. Go to one of your burner accounts, contact that player, and send them hate. This is not acceptable. And I don't know when it became acceptable to go behind the profile, go to social media, contact the players, and send them death threats, send them racial slurs, and give them that amount of hate. It is not even in my body to ever want to do that or to think to want to do that. So anybody, if you're watching this video right now and you're one of those people that contact players when your parlay doesn't hit, when your bet doesn't hit, what is going on in your mind right now? Have you lost it? Have you fallen off the edge? Have you taken the leap off the cliff? Because to me, it sounds like you have. Stop doing what you are doing. If you make a bad bet, then you made the bad bet. Blame yourself. Look in the mirror. Stop blaming others for your failures because it sounds like a you problem, not a they problem. Going back to Bleacher Report's breakdown here of the hate that certain Knicks players get, we also have Jalen Brunson, who is speaking regarding the hate that he receives. And he states the following: genuinely threatened? This is what Jalen Brunson was pondering after being asked by Edwards if he's ever felt that way. Brunson again states, I've never felt genuinely threatened, but there has been some really disrespectful stuff said. It's a lot of people who don't have profile pictures. There is part of me that has thought about airing them out, but stuff always comes back around. Jalen, air them out. Josh, air them out. I don't care if you're in the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, it doesn't matter to me. If you're a player and you're receiving death threats or any type of hate to that level on social media, by mail, or however you're getting it, air it out. Because if you air it out, if you highlight it, fans are going to get behind you and they're going to support you and start to attack those type of people. Attack people that want to go after players because their bet didn't hit. Their parlay didn't hit. Can you imagine that? Being so far gone, having all of your money invested in bets that when you don't hit, it hurts you so much that you have to run to social media under likely what's a burner account and attack players, attack their families, attack their young daughters. I'm a father at the end of the day. I love the Knicks. I love the content that I create. And I love giving you guys all of these Knicks-related topics, all of the content that I drop on a daily basis. But I'm a father first and foremost, no matter what. I will do anything for my son. Jalen Brunson probably feels the exact same way about his daughter. I can't imagine receiving death threats about my family, about my child. We have to remember, there are positives to sports betting and there are negatives to sports betting. And today, we reviewed a lot of the negatives. Stop attacking players, stop sending them death threats, and stop attacking their family. You losing your bet, your parlay, it's on you and nobody else. We have to stop the hate, and we have to stop it now. But what about you guys? What do you think about Jalen Brunson, our all-star, Josh Hart, and other players around the league receiving hate? In Jalen Brunson's case, them sending him death threats, threatening himself, his family, including his months-old daughter. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment. You know what? Scratch that. This is not that type of video. Comment below if you want. Smash the like if you want. But either way, the one thing I hope you'll do is share this video, respect the message of this video, and if you're one of those people who are watching this video right now that threaten players, threaten their families, and threaten their daughters, stop. Just stop. Think about what you're doing. And if you would want that level of hate, those type of threats sent to you, your mother, your family, or your child. As a society, as a culture, as a fan base, we got to do better.